Black Rage, back for the 90s, and we got a surprise for you.
Damn, another stepped up with disrespect. I check her with lyrics to leave her life in a total wreck. I put her in a room and make damn sure the door is locked. Lyrics flowing to her ears, microphone piping hot. Left in a trance dance, nah. I think you better sit. You never heard a female come off as hard as this. Lifts me as a lunatic. Beware you're one of the few to hear real rhymes that might split your brain in two. Don't you understand that the power of a woman strong? Blasting my brains to your brain, damage is lifelong. We're trying to raise kids and to live low in society. As long as I flow in the rhymes will grow with variety. Some choose to ask wise me. No other female can get as far as me. Maybe when I'm old and gray, someone will surprise me. But that's unlikely. I'm born as a female who can fade me. No one holds a man of capacity to grade me. And brother might think I'm stepping, yo, reverse the thought. I'll even think the damn was that marvelous, your brain is lost. But don't feel bad, you just one of many. To fall victim to the lyrics, gotten better than the enemy of friend. The enders come to write your epitaph. Laugh now, but soon you'll die in a lyrical bloodbath. Some staring amazing at the rhymes of bust. They never heard a female get critical, like marvelous.
Before there was rap, there was dance.
In the late 1970s, while hip-hop was being created at block parties in Brooklyn, Sacramento had break dancers. This was a time that created funky, fresh clothing, pop locking, electric keyboards, boom boxes, heavy drum tracks, and other roots of the hip-hop culture. This era eventually gave birth to the Breakin' movie series, Crush Groove, and many more.
This is Ice-T shooting a little drama out to the man First Degree. You know, we were fortunate enough to be on the album with Brotherland Chunk. When I first came out, there wasn't really nobody really rapping out of California, but I remember Too Short was already up and running. Now, there was a few people here and there, but, you know, when I decided to really get seriously out of the game and into hip-hop, there was really nobody that was really making noise nationally.
During this time, East Coast rap pioneers were creating a genre, defining a culture. Their messages were about fun, respect, and what was going on in the hood.
Being somebody who was one of the first artists on the West Coast, I just wanted the West Coast to win. I didn't care whether you was from South Central or the South Bay, or I didn't care where you were from, you know, Vallejo. I didn't care as long as we was California, we was the West Coast. And Sac was always a very powerful part of the West Coast.
To be the king of Sacramento in those days, you had to not only know how to pop, but survive and control a dance battle. Okay. The main DJ in town was DJ Daryl Dennis. He was known for pumping up local events. DJ Daryl was the local star. That was until the Triple Threat 3, which was Raymond D.C. Ray Haskins, Michael Mike C. Caraway, and Bruce Captain K. Knight hit the scene.
They was rapping.
For the record, DC Ray was the first Sacramento rapper, and the Triple Threat 3 was the first Sacramento rap group. Tell us about forming the Triple Threat 3 and their musical flow.
Man, before the 3, we were actually 2. We needed another voice. I felt we needed another voice to be more dynamic as a group. We had a battle that was going on at Fantasia Skating Rink. I don't know if you remember Fantasia Skating Rink over in Southside. And so we would go over there, and we had, it's like 9 groups on the list that night, and we were watching the other groups so that I could get one. And so we seen this group that had Mike C in it and Cloud 9. And Mike C was spitting. I was like, that's the guy, right? So we got at him after that battle, and that's how we became the Triple Threat 3. We listened to him. I invited him back to our spot where we, could listen to him without, anything around him. And, the dude had good precision. He had nice speed. Cali Sac, we always tried to be different. That's why we're flippers here, man. We flip. That's how I wanted me to be. So that's how we pursued it. And so when I put the group together, that's what I was looking for, somebody with precision and good speed. So yeah, Mike C fit the bill, and the Triple Threat 3 was born.
And how old were you guys?
I was 16, they were 15.
DC Ray and the Triple Threat 3 started around this time. South Sacramento, already known for its dance battles, also became known for intense rap battles as well. Tell us about forming the Triple Threat 3.
In a long story short, back in our heyday, rap battle of the DJs and battle rap and all that was a way of life. I was running with various rap groups, and there was a group called the Double Deuce, which was DC Ray and Bruce. The last group that I was with leading up to me getting with them was called the Terrible Two. We had a rap battle at Florence Skating Rink, Fantasia. And it was by process of elimination, and then it came all the way down to us and the Double Deuce. And my partner froze up on stage, and that night I left that clique and vowed that I was finna get with Ray and Bruce and form a group. I approached them about it. Bruce really wasn't with it. Ray was saying he was thinking about adding a member, but it was going to be a female. And, one thing led to another. We got to be friends. And then from there, we just, we kicked it so long, man, we just grew together. You know what I mean? And we formed the Triple Threat. And, the rest is, what it is.
Burbank was the main spot. MCs from all over started coming down, reflects DC Ray on Fahrenheit Radio's Fahrenheit Hour Urban Talk Show. Eventually, Sacramento's unique hip-hop style was on display in alleys, house parties, DJ parties, high schools, and dance clubs in the form of freestyle rap. It was pure urban expression. It was the stuff that created what Sacramento is now known for. Hard-edged, in-your-face reality music. When the dust settled, DC Ray and the Triple Threat 3 became our Sac-Town representatives. They were 16.
Man, Triple Threat 3, man, that's the OGs, homie. Big DC Ray, Big Mike C, man, all the OGs, homie, you know what I'm saying? They inspired a lot of entertainers from the 80s to do music. They had the first rap record out of Sacramento, which inspired me to keep going, you know what I mean, to do what I do. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Mike Caraway and DC Ray, man, Triple Threat 3. Man, y'all don't know what it is, man. First Degree, man, this is some real shit, man. Them niggas put that shit out there, homie, and made everybody want to be a rapper, homie. Straight up.
Can you tell us about the Burbank rap battles?
Burbank rap battles were always hard because, everybody, wanted to be tight. We had already transitioned from the dance phase into rapping, and we had started to make a name for ourselves. So as we were making a name for ourselves, all of a sudden we started seeing other guys coming out of the woodwork. I went to the bank, so it was like being on my home turf. So yeah, we came and we did our things, and before you knew it, man, the Triple Threat 3 started really, guys started knowing who we were when we show up at other high school battles.
Leading up to getting with the Threat, DC Ray and Bruce, they were pretty much winning all the battles, and I was in some pretty good cliques, pretty good groups. I was putting together some pretty good material. Somebody who you all might know by the name of J. King. He had a group called Frost. We was issued a challenge Well, not just us, but Sacramento period. They were saying that they was the best in Sac and blah blah blah. And to the Triple Threat, that was a direct insult. You couldn't speak like that around the Kings. And we stalked them, man. We dog whopped them. And every Sunday at William Land Park, battles were coming. And even when we formed the Triple Threat, we had a battle in L.A. We walking down the street, see some cats in the parking lot. They out there spitting and battling. We got in the middle of it and slaughtered everybody.
During DC Ray's 2015 appearance on Fahrenheit Radio's Fahrenheit Hour, First Degree the D mentioned a Rakim show and a show they were writing for Fahrenheit Insight. I was before Rakim, includes DC Ray. Wow.
Earlier this month, or last month, we talked about what was important in music. And you had mentioned that being positive was important.
Being positive gets you into a lot of venues that people who are scared of your music won't allow you to. If you want to get your message across, sometimes you can still do your hard stuff, but you have to balance it so that people can get to see who you are as an artist. They'll close you out if they're scared of you. Having some positive songs and stuff that makes you feel good, that makes your grandma get up because she ain't scared that her grandchildren can listen to your record. That's what it was about then for us. And I wanted to be, able to get into any venue. The positive songs, and it's funny, people remember the positive songs more. They sing the positive songs, as far as having a message that they can relate to. I've been to shows down in LA when I had shows down there where people would come up to me after a performance and give me stuff because they liked the show that much. They liked the message in the show that much. I had a brother from the Army give me a Nefertiti, gold Nefertiti necklace, very nice. Had a lot of women give me beads, necklaces, men too. It wasn't just women, and it would trip me out because it would let me see the power of the message, the power of the positive message in the music. So yeah, I enjoyed moments like that in my career.
Back then, you had to sell your music out the trunk like Too Short, remembers DC Ray. Before digital downloads and streamings, before the presence of independent distributors, before it became easy to get your music to the public, there was selling music out the trunk. Selling music out the trunk is a term used by independent artists, meaning selling music directly to the consumer, face-to-face, on the street, at shows, or at other events. In time, face-to-face music sales will be one of Northern California rappers' most essential traits. Independent record store insiders like Russ Solomon of Tower Records, Dylan Radakovitz of Dimple Records, and Saeed Balance Crumpler of Rasputin Music in Dubai made it possible for independent artists to take their music from the trunk to the stores. In 2007, world-renowned London-based writer Brian Bartholomew traveled to the United States to do research for his rap documentary, Feel Me Before They Kill Me. For his project, he traveled the entire U.S., meeting MCs from different regions along the way. It was amazing how Brian was able to come from a foreign land and chop it up with so many rap stars. At the end of his trip, Brian interviewed Northern California artists and noted that the independent spirit is out its peak here in Northern California. One of Sacramento and the Bay Area's greatest gifts to America's music industry was demonstrating the will to bypass the major labels and go independent. The more common practice was to sit around and beg major labels to sign you.
Major companies, big companies are very, very simple. Bottom line is if we ain't getting ours, we ain't got nothing to do with you. You know what I mean? If we ain't getting the lion's share, if we ain't winning, we don't want nothing to do with you. So I just call them very simple. I don't think they have a slave mentality. I just think they have the mentality of you work for me and we're the corporation. Now what's fucked up when you're dealing with entertainment, that's something that a person gives themselves.
Nowadays, Selling music independently is common. Brian Bartholomew died before finishing the documentary. Once DC Ray became king of urban Sac, the buzz exploded past our Sacramento borders and reached Dubai area, and eventually Los Angeles and New York.
We performed with Houdini. We performed with Run DMC. We performed with Dr. Dre and the World Class Wrecking Crew, Bobby Jimmy and the Critters, LA Dream Team. Preparation was pretty much, man, we had a manager. His name was Razorblade. He had live equipment in his garage. The whole garage was like a studio. We had a DJ named Spoonie G, which as far as I'm concerned is the rawest cat that ever touched the turntable. We just never, just like all of us, we never got to that pinnacle where we wanted to be to get that recognition. We would be in the garage. I can recall it being so cold that you could see your breath. And this cat would be blowing on his hands and scratching on the turntables. So preparing, like I said, man, we was always prepared. We didn't have to prepare. We stayed polished. We stayed rehearsed. Nobody had to put it in us. Nobody had to drill us. Nobody had to make us do it. We were brothers. We was comrades. We all were rap fanatics. We loved music. We loved hip hop. We loved what we did. And we stayed prepared because this is what we did.
At that time, we knew we had some guys coming through that, were known from New York. And, we wanted to set it off and let them know that when they came to SAC, we had heat out here too. And we would rehearse a lot. Rehearsing a lot is important. Whenever you rap enough with a guy, you know where his pauses and breaks are. As a group, when you know that, you're tighter. You're more of a tight unit. And that was one thing that we were really trying to do. I was trying to get for Triple Threat 3, no matter whether there's another group that was, because there was a Treacherous 3 out there in New York. We were hoping as many New York rappers came here as possible because we wanted to, that's how we wanted them to go back talking about the dudes that was out west. We knew it went great when Russ and them approached us about, the idea of joining on with them. And even not only that, the groups, Run and them and, a couple of their entourage were like, yeah, you guys were tight, man. And then, of course, all of our people, I don't think they expected, they didn't know what to expect. So when we came off like we came off, they were happy too. It's all good to know that we achieved what we wanted to do. But the ultimate flattery was when he invited us to come join him.
We actually had a show with Houdini one time where they got too intoxicated to perform. We had already performed to open up for Houdini. And so the owner was frantic and people was, frantic because you got these big cats that's not able to come on and do their set. Eventually they walked off. And hey, the threat did what the threat had to do, man. We came back, knocked out a whole nother set, did a whole nother thing and saved the club that night. Our style was seamless and flawless.
It was at this time that Russell Simmons' Def Jam Records and new rap group Run DMC were blowing up the East Coast. Let's get one thing clear. Rap as we know it originated in New York City. In the 1970s, pioneers like DJ Hollywood, DJ Kool Herc, DJ Red Alert, Grandmaster Flash, African Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force, The Furious Five, and others changed the world with their rhythmic rhyming, urban swag, and break beats. Without the block parties and hip-hop evolution in boroughs of New York, there would be no Sacramento rap. Inspired by the success of one of the first rap songs, Rapper's Delight by the Sugar Hill Gang, Queens native and college student Russell Simmons teamed up with MC Eddie Chiba and Curtis Walker, aka Curtis Blow, to make a move.
Hey, everybody, I'm Curtis Blow for Sacramento rap history. Wow, well, so we're talking about the 70s from, I'd say, about 1977 till about, 1980. That's the times I was hanging out with Russell, going to college, and we were party animals, crazy, wild, crazy party animals.
In 1979, Simmons and Curtis Blow recorded an independently released Christmas Rappin'. It was a hit.
Wow, we got involved in this thing called hip hop at an early stage. We became promoters, giving parties all around in the college. We became this production company called Rush Productions, the force in college disco. And man, I remember Russell's dad used to say, you know, we used to eat, sleep, and drink disco. We used to go to clubs Tuesday nights, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 or 5 different clubs, promoting our clubs and promoting early hip hop DJs like, you know, DJ Hollywood, Eddie Chiba, Lovebug Starsky, Grandmaster Flash, and uh, uh, you know, the Funky 4 plus one more. We were promoting those early groups before we made records, and then we started making records. He became my manager in 1980, and the rest is history. Yeah, so we go back. It was wild and crazy days. I say it was more like, you remember that movie Delta House? Uh, um, yeah, we were like that sci-fi fraternity and create just wild and crazy party animals. Uh, and I thank God that we were blessed and fortunate enough to survive. Amen. Amen.
The hip hop being created at the time was urban, revolutionary expression that was just waiting to burst out from the seams. Simmons' next step was to partner up with Rick Rubin and form Def Jam Records. Def Jam was off and running with their new release, 16-year-old LL Cool J's I Need a Beat. By 1982, Simmons' younger brother, Joseph Simmons, formed a hip-hop group with Daryl DMC McDaniels and Jason Jam Master J. Mitzel. In 1984, Run DMC released Run DMC, and the album went on to become the first rap album to be certified gold. 500,000 units sold. Run DMC decided to take their block party on the road. That road led to Sacramento, and in 1983, DC Ray and the Triple Threat 3, Houdini, and Run DMC did a show at the Second Level in Sacramento. It was Sacramento's first big rap show. A 13-year-old Kevin Brother Lynch hung man was front row. Other local up-and-coming MCs was in the building as well. The Triple Threat 3 turned the party out, getting the attention of Russell Simmons. After the show, Russell Simmons told the Triple Threat 3 crew about their new label, Def Jam Records. Although the Triple Threat 3 had heard of Run DMC and LL Cool J, Def Jam Records itself was a mystery to the crew. Everything was so fresh. Everything was so new. Simmons' pitch to the three was that Def Jam was becoming the biggest label in New York. Later that night, Russell Simmons offered the Triple Threat 3 a contract. This was it. Signing with a nationally renowned record label was any MC's dream. However, there was a catch. They had to move to New York, and they had to decide that night.
Well, my name is First D, and I'm here to strike. Keep dropping on the mud, and they go this way. Real, I've been on the shelf since 92. Man up, act like you knew. Let this record be a shot in the dark. I'm concerned about your life, not no billboard jerk. I'm in the Fresno champ, LA, you're back. Germany heard of me, act like you're on say. I hope this record make you wanna dance for minutes or so to escape your parlance. Never heard of Roxanne, Molly Mall, or J. Rue? Well, it's my job to bring it to you. You thought you was it, claimed yourself as the best. Yet B.E. Trump in me contest. It's that tough D slump, bitch, causing unrest.
Hopefully, people that aren't aware of the entire Sacramento movement will become aware and realize, the heat y'all got up there.